Danny,
Yeah?
you know you're evil, right?
I'm not evil.
Oh, that's the problem we're having. She's in denial.
Oh, you're in the night.
No, you get it. Now you get it.
Keep talking, and I'm like, this is not your personality at all.
All right, before we stray any further, let's get into the topic.
Oh, the credit check.
Before marriage.
Do a financial credit check for a person before marriage.
Yeah, and another topic that I want us to segue into.
It's a bit too late for that, don't you think?
I don't know if I say you not read the message them in the chat.
No,
we discussed this hours ago.
No, we're not talking about you married people now. We're talking about...
But you didn't know what poor before you got married to me.
No, but I thought it was a good investment and that's in a turnover yet.
Actually, I'm making... Wait a second.
We're listening.
From the day we got married till now, I'm actually making over 3 times what we used to make. That's an improvement in 2 years.
Wow.
That's an improvement in 2 years.
It's almost 2 years.
All right, so 3 times in 3 years. That's good. If we continue to move like this, we can make 5 times in 5 years.
Roughly
in 10 years,
roughly, I average to go up by 1/3 or so. All right, so the third topic is, should we do a credit check on our husband to be or wife to be? Correct?
Before marriage.
Before marriage. That's what I said to be. That's
all right.
It used to be.
All right, so...
Okay.
We have them checked out
so
before we actually invest all our time in them and money.
Financially checked out. We don't mean do a background check. That should be done before the relationship.
Exactly.
Okay, true. They do a background check on you?
So
I have no idea. Yeah, I'm not sure.
More like I did.
I think I check out the background check on you too, you know.
My face is clean. I'm a good girl.
Right.
Daddy.
Sorry, my allergies are acting up.
You know, it's just, we're sisters. Don't do that to me, girl.
I'm allergic to bullshit.
Now, take care. I'll tell you some more business.
You know what? The thing, Michael is the most decent one of all of you, you know.
I'm going like the most black and misbehaving one of
them. He's actually the most decent one.
I don't think you know Michael very well if you're making such a statement.
Yeah, he's looking at surface level.
Evil one.
What?
No, Danny low-key evil. I think that's what you mean.
I don't have an evil bone in my body. I'm clean. I'm a clean slate.
Bullshit.
Me too, that's a while ago. That was a problem. And she that's other quiet. Okay, good. Just making sure.
Allergies, man. All right. So just to put a really fine tune on the topic itself, do you guys think the check should be done before they're engaged or after the engagement?
Oh, can I just say one thing though? I don't know if you guys seen the report that there have been
oh my goodness.
Yes, I said I've been reading in your ears from days, but there is a report going around that from January of this year there have been over 1,000 divorce filings. So
1,000 divorce in Jamaica?
In Jamaica, that's a Jamaica thing, people.
Okay, that sounds like a topic for our future day. Why people get divorced? But
you know, from she wake up, she reading from the ears.
I'm just saying it's interesting.
Is there something you want to tell me?
I'm just saying it's interesting.
Yeah, but tell me one.
It could be a case.
Okay. Let me bite.
No, let her finish.
Mm-hmm.
It could be linked to a topic with a financial problem. No more in a relationship, so in the relationship.
Okay, I understand that. So, I understand. So you tell me once or twice.
I didn't tell you. I was telling them.
But you have told me this 4 times, not including when you're saying this. Okay. Is there something you want to tell me?
Divorce is an option. You're checking me already.
Wait, what?
Yes, thank you. Mr.
Things were going there. You know, such an elbow me on my side today. I came and hug her as she elbowed me.
Because I know this is a recording to let me see that the evil one.
Did you not elbow me?
That was sleep me.
Okay.
You know I sleep bad. I sleep
today in
bad.
the kitchen?
That way.
No, not when you headbutt me, you know, when you elbow me in the kitchen.
Headbutt?
When the time when you try to strangle me?
I was trying to hug you.
With gloves on your hands?
I was hugging you because I like the gloves you bought me.
Round my neck?
I was putting you were busy, so whenever I wanted your waist or something around the neck.
Really?
Okay, interesting.
Yes.
That's what you're doing, maybe?
Yeah, but I was trying to hug her.
Let's just take all of that.
At the elbow, be put it in. I want the world to know, you know, this is a relationship.
No, I know.
I'm in a abusive relationship.
You took the gloves, and so you get the gloves, you've been going for my neck.
Lies.
Every time you put it on, you come round my neck.
No, that's a lie. That's a lie. Why not play with gardening gloves? That doesn't hide any evidence. I need better gloves.
Why do you keep doing it?
I don't know what you're talking about. Just showing the gloves.
Why do you keep... How do you show me something that's below my eyelid where I cannot see?
Well, you have bad eyes. Are you to myself?
Why are you only
the near side teeth said bad eyes. Stop. We're saying stop.
No, I'm loving this. I'm sorry. But hold on, real quick. L.
Leo, what was that?
Hold on. L. The article that you mentioned about 1,000 divorces, does it point to why or is it just statistics?
It's I didn't read the article. It's right. They're saying filings. They're not divorces, but people file for them.
Oh, filing.
Why?
They say the reasons.
Why?
Domestic disputes then.
Domestic dispute?
Yeah.
It actually could be because when the homes are acting, more fights are more really to happen.
You can't stand the person with.
Okay.
I didn't say anything.
Wait, look, funny.
This is not a video recording, so that doesn't count.
Huh?
Da-da-dee.
Anyway, back to the topic. We're straying, and we've been straying from 9.
Okay, so back to my original question. Do you guys think that the check should be done before the engagement or after the engagement?
Before.
I think the check should be done once the relationship gets really serious.
Define serious.
Which is before the engagement?
No, it's before the engagement, but I think what happens is that after you're dating this person, somewhere deep down you decide you want to spend the rest of your life with them, because that normally happens before the engagement. Like sometimes
when you start discuss about whether you want to.
Yeah, when you start discuss where you want to be going forward, when you realize you might want to have a serious future with this person, I believe that's when you should do the credit check. Because truth be told,
hold on, but not just marriage, because you have common laws that are longer than marriage.
I don't care about common law. We're not talking about common law.
But if
we're not talking about common law.
That's all another topic.
We're not talking about common law.
This is another abusive technique that people use, But you have common law relationships, so why limit it only to married people to do the credit check? I mean, common laws then live together, and it's...
Yeah, but the thing with common law... You want to take this one? Go ahead.
I'm so confused. What's happening?
Alright, let Leo take this one, because more like he's going to say the same thing I'm going to say anyway, but probably more research.
I'm not going to say... Probably will not say the same thing, but the thing with common law, like, even though they're protected under the law, they're not given the same levels of guarantee that a married person is given under the law, even under Jamaican law. With a married person, they're entitled to not only half of your stuff, but they're entitled to certain protection that is under the law. Yes, common law person have certain protection, like they can get certain assets when a person pass on, or they can inherit certain things. But say for instance, me and you are common law, right? And we've been together for a couple of months of time. Even though you have right to some amount of stability, you don't have any right to my assets then that I have outside of the relationship. Like say for instance, I have a business, I am a common law wife. If me and you break up, you have no right to that business. As my wife, you're entitled to at least 30% of the business if you divorce.
Okay.
And there's another aspect. Basically, he said everything I was going to say. But there's another aspect I think about as well. When you're married, particularly in some countries, I'm not sure how it spans here in Jamaica, but your credit scores actually combine as one. Because under the law, you are seen as one. That's why you call Mr. and Mrs. So all forms of legality. I mean, no, seriously, even simple matters as banking information, your credit history, it's all fused together as one. So you literally have a shared credit score.
Well, I'm sorry for whoever my need then.
Oh boy.
I have a good credit score.
That's the one.
The student only say what we pay off every month and have a good credit score.
Nice credit score is like, wow.
The credit score is not permanent, you know. It can fluctuate and change over the years. I remember what I said in an early episode. Once a
and the banking information, it goes through that I have a business. So that's alone improve the credit score. That's why my credit score is good.
Yeah.
And your credit score is better, but on paper, they have more assets than you.
Yeah.
But they're still shared assets. And because the two of you are married, it's a lot easier for you guys to get certain conditional discounts when it comes down to stuff like, say, a mortgage, certain investment portfolios, that kind of thing. Because
did you start an investment thingy?
Huh? Okay, I need a bunch of stuff from me. It's a lot less than doing one for yourself, but missing a bunch of stuff from me.
And you really waited to think about investment to tell me anything here?
You never asked me.
Sorry. That's not my ear.
You get a lot of advantages, literally, socially, and financially, if you are married.
Yes. Yeah, so far, you get all the advantages.
Well, you have advantages too, you know.
Like?
What? That kind of a mute.
Deep breaths, Leo.
I want my income myself done.
Leo, deep breaths.
Seriously, when I want to take over the team, but yeah, really like honest to say you get no financial benefit all the time. Out of all the things that happen, right? The only thing, I can't even say the only thing. Yes, my benefit from it, but the benefit just as much from me. Financially, we talk financially.
Okay, financially?
Yes, have you not benefited from our union financially?
Yes,
Oh, look me in the eye and say, come on, say
I literally can't hear her, so let me hear her, please. She's gone low.
This is not for hearing.
Have you not benefited from being with me financially? You don't know why I mumble.
Oh, Lord. No.
Because me can't hear a word.
I can't hear her either.
Nobody might hear anything from you. You want to talk.
I don't have a husband breathing down my neck.
Elle, have you not benefited financially from this marriage?
Yes, I have.
You're sure? Because it's so dry.
She's so like she under pressure.
Do I...
Wow, I'm scared every number.
Cough once if you're under duress.
More money? Is there something I need to do? L.
Cough once if you're under duress.
Eh?
Cough once if you're under duress.
Yo, brother.
Okay. Okay, but for real though, when you are married, life gives you a lot more advantages, especially as you get older. So there is an advantage to actually get married because particularly, and there was a point that I think one of the, I think it was a podcast, I can't remember who exactly because I listened to a couple of guys, where they basically said that marriage is one of the ideal ways, if properly maintained, to fix a lot of economic problems because you're pooling all your finances together, one, and also when you get older, it stops from persons who are probably single or to the workforce, retired, who have to literally depend on government aid, which then strains the economy of a country. As against if they had somebody where they would be able to build, gather their wealth, combine their assets, and go forward. So there is an importance to actually getting married, both from a personal and from a national standpoint.
Financial. True.
Yeah.
Yeah, financial security. I agree with that. I can honestly say I'm better off by that thing.
She saw that as so much stress. Oh my
apparently I'm shit as a provider. Apparently I'm shit as a provider because apparently she have no benefit from it.
I didn't say I have no benefit.
If you have to struggle so much from feeling,
anyway, having said that,
I'm not lying.
hold
They
on.
work out better that way.
Hold on. Having said that, I want to ask another question. Having said that, what would be the best? What do you think would be the red flags if somebody was to do or recommend a credit check before even getting engaged? What should they look out for?
Debt, habits, gambling habits.
You have people in our experiment. What they should look out for is, as we said, debt, but bad debt.
Bad debt.
Debts that are not just for stuff like
a lot of cars, pretty cars, fast cars,
material things,
high credit card owing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If there are a lot of liabilities and no assets, or if there's more liabilities than assets,
or no assets at all.
Exactly.
They buy a whole heap of furniture
and buy a lot of clothes, and then have no investments, no savings, no bond, no real estate.
Buy the money
Exactly. That's the red flag. That means they have no control over their spending or control over money. Now, here's the thing. This is why I said that the credit check should be done way before the engagement, like a year before.
But the funny thing, is that how would we let them opt into it? Because remember, the man is going to be the one to propose. So, are we going to say that it's the man who's going to actually prompt and say, all right, we should do a credit check? Oh, so the woman will?
No. Them will do a check, but they won't do a credit check. That's completely different.
Right, that's a background check.
If you do a credit check on someone, you need their permission to do it.
They do a credit check on you?
Sure, if you want.
How do I do a credit check on you?
You Google that shit yourself.
Why don't you tell me? How to do a credit check on you?
Just Google it. I'm not sure.
Mikhail, how do you do a credit check on someone?
You have to sign
Isn't
up.
it a bit too late for you now?
Oh boy. For you to do a credit check, you can even go to any personal bank if you want to do a credit check. But you have to show written evidence that this person has given permission to actually view their credit history. Because even I've done credit checks twice, and on both occasions I've had to pay the bank to actually pay the bank to compile information on my behalf. So they sent me a form, I signed up to say, all right, I'm giving this institution this permission to check my credit history, blah, blah, blah. They send that right. So they send that to the our credit bureau here in Jamaica. They compile it and then they send it back. It's the same way. If you want to do it for somebody else, you have to get written permission and verification from them before you can actually access that information.
So what did you do the check for? For your job?
No, I didn't do it for a job. I did it for a loan for a friend the first time. And why did I do the second time again? I think I did the second time just to check up on how it was, to see if anything had changed. Yeah. No, that was the second loan, right?
So I did mine the time when I think you want to buy land together.
Yeah, man, you have to do it then, because the funny thing, when you're doing, which is so funny, you could actually have the money to actually purchase a house, but they look on your credit history as a more important thing to look at, because they're looking at your repayment history in particular. Because whether you like it or not, they are going to want you to take a mortgage. They don't want you to pay for the house and everything up front. Because that's a bit, not say shady, but it's less reliable, because it's literally two persons exchanging a large amount of funds instead of having a third party to literally flood those funds. That's why if you're particularly doing like a car loan, it is recommended, you don't really have to, but it's recommended for the safety of both parties to bring in a middle institution to handle that transaction for the sake of transparency.
When I'm rich enough, I mind everything in cash. Now, when you cash in hand,
check.
Bank transfer. Or check.
Yeah.
But I'm doing everything in cash. Screw the bank. I'm a school for a long time.
The interest rates, man.
Let's not get into a conspiracy now.
No, not really conspiracy. Because remember I mentioned this before that if your banking account, for example, the savings account goes below a certain balance, they start a reordering of your transactions from the largest to the smallest so that it can reach zero a lot quicker. And I've even seen this person with my account because I tried it out with one of the banks that I have an account with. It's the funniest thing I ever seen.
No, it's not even reach a certain amount. I see, when my bank account have a large figure in it and I'm still do it.
Oh, I haven't seen that happen to me yet. So, but what I try to do is that I don't do more than one transaction a particular day. So if I want to do something, I just do it on this day and do another thing on the other day, so that they don't even have the opportunity to do that because it's locked. It's one transaction locked within that one single day.
It's hard to do for certain people.
If you're running a business, yeah.
Exactly.
It's very annoying.
My question now is though, all right, you find the one who you think you're going to marry to.
You think it's the one.
And you get to that serious stage where you decide, all right, I'm going to do a credit check because I want to take the next step forward. You do the check and everything comes up to be
bad.
Between 50% and 100% clean.
Huh?
So,
that's not what I was expecting.
All right, let's say 60% then. They're in good water, for example. So you say, all right, this is good enough for me to go forward with them.
Mm-hmm.
You get married, and then somewhere down the line, the credit gets bad. What happens to you then?
No, but
you and the person
have to work it out. Yeah. It's not impossible to literally go from the worst credit score ever to the best. It just takes a lot of time, a lot of consistency. Because remember that 7-year gap I keep mentioning when it comes down to like credit history?
Mm-hmm.
You can use that to your advantage. And this is why I said, particularly if you have a credit card, it's a lot harder to fix your credit with loan repayments. But with credit cards, that's you actively using credit on a monthly basis, which is why I recommend that you can use a credit card to just clear off your utility bills for the month, which you would already have the money for anyway. And then over time is you using credit monthly, repaying on time in full, and that boosts your credit history over time. So you literally can restore your score to the healthiest form it can be in like say 2 to 3 years, depending on the amount that your utilities come to. So if they are married and their credit score, remember that when they're married, it's all joined together. Their credit score has to be fixed by the both of them actively trying to fix up whatever debt they may have or late payments or whatever they may have.
So if you sign a prenup, are you still considered as one where the credit check is concerned?
The prenup only takes effect if you're getting a divorce, because what the prenup does is that it's a cleaner way to allocate how assets will be shared up, if any at all, in the case of a legal separation. So the prenup is not going to take effect unless both parties say, all right, we're going to go through the divorce procedure.
Legal separation or divorce? Legal separation.
No, I call divorce legal separation. Well, no, it's not the same thing. I'm talking nonsense.
Different thing altogether, you know.
Yeah. To be separated is a bit more messy, but actually if you're separated from your spouse for a couple of years, I think, there's some loophole there. I can't remember what happened. Because I remember it happened to a Miss, was it Bangladesh? Can't remember. One of those countries.
Oh, you mean the one where the woman took off the thing off her head?
Yes. Because she was apparently still married to the guy, but they've been separated for like I think 2 years.
Yeah, and the woman thinks she should be divorced.
Right, and divorce is frowned upon in their society. So she got around that because they were separated. So even though she was legally binded to him still, her obligation would have been null and void basically because of the period of time to which they were separated. So there are certain workarounds for that. So
what them was that because she was crowned, she not deserve the crown because of her marital status?
Alright, because in their culture, women who are divorced are frowned upon. So culturally, she would not be the image of. So what kind of pageant was it? I can't remember.
It was a Miss World.
It was a Miss World pageant, right?
Yeah.
But it was Miss World for their country, so she was basically supposed.
From this world, yeah.
Yeah, she was the representative for that country. So in their culture,
You should not be divorced to be in the pageant.
right, she should not have been divorced. If anything, she's either should have been single or married.
Mm-hmm.
Separating from your husband is just seen as taboo within their culture because it shows a lot.
So you tell me, you say, because I know say usually are really young women enter them pageant. They're like
She
from
is young.
19, 18.
She is
And you
young.
want to tell me that she already separated from her husband?
You're forgetting these
Okay,
are
now
different
like
cultures. These are different cultures.
Why you think like that? Why you think maybe she married young or maybe there's some
That's what
issue
I'm
with-
saying. That's what I'm saying. So you married so young that you actually reach a stage where you're separated from somebody so quick.
These are
Maybe
different
married
cultures.
It could be a case where she got married to him, then there was some issues shortly after the marriage and they have separated.
Mm-hmm.
You don't,
could get back together.
you don't know the full issue.
You don't know the
And
full
then
story.
Oh.
And because of that, I think the former Miss Bangladesh got in a lot of trouble with that because she's the one who removed the crown from her head.
She literally went until she waited for the lady. I'm upset over that.
They crowned her. They basically crowned her and then
They crowned her in front of everyone.
And then took it
she,
off.
Former Miss literally dragged the woman. They crowned after the woman head in front of everybody. And so the woman had to go to the doctor because of the headache.
and that former Miss Bangladesh is, well, I keep saying Bangladesh. I might be wrong, viewers. I apologize. That's the issue with the country. I can't remember. So it's one of those Asian countries. I really apologize. But that former Miss World whatever for that country, she got in a lot of legal trouble for that. Because yeah, man, she got sued heavily.
That's damage to the lady.
Defamation.
And the fact is, he could have at least done that privately. You know, go on stage. I think that was bad mind. To go on stage and do that.
Bad man, get the best of it.
Oh, what is?
Why would you do that? Like, she didn't already say that our crown. There were so many different. Because if
But
you listen to the lady get her crown.
I'm surprised it wasn't. They didn't bring it up before. It was a funny thing. But yeah, back to your question. The whole prenup thing wouldn't affect the credit score. I'm surprised you're not turning the situation and say, all right, what if you find out this person had a bad credit score? How do you exit that relationship? I'm surprised that's not a question.
Again?
Here is what I think about it. Now, if you're intelligent enough to do a credit check on a person before you get into the relationship to the next step, I believe that you should be mature and intelligent enough to
have a plan
how to fix that credit. But here's the thing. A lot of persons, males and females, want to get married to a rich person, but they don't want to put in the work to help the person get rich.
Yeah, because me I say no, if you do this credit, if it comes up that the person has bad credit, I am going to leave them for that. It just going to look like say you were in the relationship for money.
No.
It might look like that, but here's the thing. Money is very important to a relationship. There's no denying that.
You need money. You can't go around it.
You can't say I love you and feed off of the love.
That can't pay the light bill.
Exactly. But money is a very important factor. And to be told, when marriages came about, money and security was much more important than love.
Yeah, to pay to get your wife.
Exactly.
Yeah, man, arranged marriages were basically... Yeah, the arranged marriages were just there to keep the estate running, the wealth flowing into the family. That's basically what it was. That's why you hear my man saying that marriage was about duty back in the day and then love came later.
So, I'm not saying you shouldn't marry for love, but money is a very important factor in it. And if you really care about the person, you and him should sit down and figure out a way they can come out of the financial situation. So, if they refuse to do so,
let him.
Oh my goodness!
Why him? Why him? Why not her?
Let her.
What?
As I was saying, if the person refuses to get out of their bad financial situation,
walk away.
Are you seeing issue? Are there some? What would I say? Crap, like basically, if they're not willing to fix it, then it's just to walk away because that's going to be not only going to have issues later on, but it just proves that there might be some personal issues or personal characters they may not want to deal with.
Yeah, because if you're married to a person who is unwilling to, well, one, accept help from you, or two, realize that there is something wrong currently in their life, just imagine that on a larger scale, on a daily daily basis with someone who you're legally binded to, who you may and may not have children with. So, if it's so difficult for someone to realize that, okay, I need to fix this, and they literally are either oblivious or too ignorant to say no, I don't want to deal with this, then that's probably a good signal to you that, all right, maybe this person is not a good fit for you at this moment.
Here's a question though.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you're married and you're separated for years, and then either your husband or your wife dies. Does the bad, like they had a bad credit score somewhere along the marriage, does that transfer over to the person who is still alive?
That's not in Jamaica.
That's a good question.
Jamaica don't even catch up with that.
Not in Jamaica, but in certain places it does happen. I think in the US, if you're married to someone and they have bad debt,
you are responsible for their debt.
It doesn't happen with a loan. I don't think it happens with personal loan, but with other.
It's more like
commercial debt, mortgage, car loan, and stuff like that.
Definitely mortgage.
It goes over onto you. It goes over onto you, right? But it's the same thing. It's the same principle. Like if they have a large net worth and then they pass on, you get it, right?
You get the good and the bad. You get the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Just say reasons that's why I get yourself a divorce. If you don't trust them up to me in a separation,
Wait, what she say about divorce?
I don't know why she has to divorce from already, From man she has to divorce.
I'm not divorcing because there are perks, okay?
There are perks to being divorced? For who exactly?
No, she's saying that she's not going to divorce him because there's too much perks of being married.
Did she just figure this out today, or?
I'm
married for a while, and I have I never really threatened divorce.
What? You never really threatened divorce? Okay. Go on. I'm listening.
Oh, that's what it is. I never really threatened divorce. Y'all just make me seem like a cold, heartless witch.
No, we would never say that.
What's interesting? Maybe you'll know more about marriage than me and you who actually married.
I realized, because I'm like, this nigga be spitting truth. And the married couple just sit out there and listen and I take it in. And I'm just like, so, what's going on?
Oh, God. Here we go again.
Reason.
And you married me for?
Whatever reason. Let's leave it at that. I mean, love. We married for love, right?
No, I'm married for rich.
For you. I'm married for investment. I thought you'd be good. And I'm still waiting
wait, hold on. Let me tell you about investment. The good investments are long-term investments.
That's what
and so far, I have returned I've increased in my yield and net worth.
100% every year.
I lost your margin at this point in time.
Oh, my apologies. It doesn't work like that. I'm paying interest. The first couple of years, and I've increased my net worth. I've increased my net worth several times over the short period we have been in. Why are you so
I'm
upset?
going to look back again. I'm going to give you your review.
A review?
Next 2 to 3 years to see if it was worth the investment or should I sell.
Oh, okay.
First thing.
No.
Listen,
Leo.
My income, as I stated, tripled into that marriage. First thing.
God.
Second, my net worth due to my company.
Would you allow me to divorce if I could?
My net worth due to my company make me a reasonable investment. But as I say, I'm 9 people, so we can go and listen. But my net worth due to the company has increased multiple times over I am worth multiple times more, tens, hundreds of times more than I was when we got married, just because of the company. And my income has increased threefold, right? I don't see what the bad investment just because I don't get the money in your pocket right now.
Oh, Lord.
Right? Even sometimes you get money in your pocket and you're seeing the money come through, and you're seeing improvements with the money, right? Who am I? No,
You're gonna cry.
Because you don't want you said that you're not seeing your investment.
And I know you work your ass.
And I am a good investment.
Okay. Like I said, we will do this next couple of years.
So if you're saying I'm a good investment. No. Don't take me.
Okay, just to switch it up though, let's say we have our lovely hypothetical couple who went through the entire credit check and they're building their wealth together and they have children. Now, my question that I want to segue into a little bit, how would the couple now engage in generational wealth, starting with their children? Because wealth is easy.
Where we have opposing views.
Wow, this should be fun.
Why don't we like Elle? We don't want to pass on nothing to our kids.
You might not be so far off with that one.
That does me so well. That's where we. I'm just saying. I ain't gonna raise no spoiled brat.
You don't have to raise them spoiled.
I'm just saying. We are the way we are because we suffered.
Okay.
All four of us here, none of us are money persons. We are broke-ass people who crawled our way through so we can make something of ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Now, not saying that it won't work if you have money.
Let her finish.
I work my ass off to where I am right now. Don't be like that. I grew up broke. What is your issue with me, sir?
I never said that you never grew up broke, but you have also said choose not to be broke. You're not broke. No, you're not specifying the time period.
Okay, I'm sorry. I grew up broke and I worked my ass off now to be comfortable.
Okay, so go back to the reason why you don't want to give your children money.
I'm not saying they will be provided for, but I'm not gonna say like you gotta work. You have to
trust fund for them.
Yeah, they might have an trust fund, but they're not gonna know about it. If it was up to me, they would never even know so we have money.
Okay. So it's your point because you asked to you.
I'm just saying that I think hardships will build character. So they ain't gonna get everything they want. I just think that they probably suffer a little bit, not to the point that we were, but just to learn a little struggle.
Okay. So let me say what I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
First, just because they have money doesn't mean they won't struggle through life. There are different types of struggling through life, right? Mm-hmm. There's financial, there's physical, there's mental, emotional, there's different struggles.
Money doesn't fix everything.
Two, you want them to build their own wealth, right? Rich kids can build their own wealth. It is up to us as parents to teach them and discipline them and instill in them the characteristics to go out to
and create their own wealth, right?
We get it naturally because we're hungry for it. There's a lot of poor persons out there that don't hungry for it and they're comfortable in their own poverty, right? Are we here, especially me and you, we struggle, me more than anybody else in this group, and nobody can tell me otherwise. And we are comfortable. We have moved from the poverty line and up with our own 2 feet. And I have hundreds I have hundreds of friends who have not done anything with their life. And I have rich people that have fallen poor because they don't do nothing with their life. But I've also seen poor and rich people pull themselves up by the bootstrap and make millions for themselves. It has nothing to do if they must struggle, if they pour them, the character of the individual will create that wealth for them. It's a value Wealth is created when the value you produce is more than the value you produce. Wealth is created when the value you produce is more than what person out there will pay for it. And yes, it's so weird, but that's the truth. A millionaire produce $100 million worth of value to society, and you get millions of dollars for it. A billionaire creates tens of billions of dollars of value for society and then get it back. Me and you are creating value to society and we're getting rewarded for it.
Mm-hmm.
A rich child can create that same value if they learn to create the value. We as parents have to teach them.
I think it always have risk as well that, hey, there's, all right, me have money, I have a trust fund, I really need to work for nothing.
And there's the risk of a poor person saying, well, not done poor, and the poor will always get poor. It does it. That I understand what I say, and if I really understand that it's our job to instill in them the right character. Like, truth be told, the reason why we have this is because we realize that we want better for us, and can pull it up. We can show our child, just because they have this, there are things you need to do and stand for.
I don't even see family history. We know how money goes.
I know with our family history because our family never teach about money. That's the thing. Our family generation never talk about money. In my family, it was taboo.
In Jamaica, it's taboo.
Both sides of my family was taboo. And look what it has done. We discuss money often. That's why we are doing so well. Because we discuss money, we plan money. We don't follow it to the T, and sometimes we fall off. But imagine if we never did have these discussions. So they are required that we need to teach our child from a very young age.
It deserves that.
I totally agree that they deserve an obstacle and they deserve a period in their life where they have to suffer. That's true. But it doesn't have to be money related. And trust me, some of the greatest persons in the world, they were able to create and build their things because they had money. When you have money, it frees up your time to do creative things. When you're poor, all you can think about is to get enough money to eat.
They won't be poor. I'm just saying, they'll be comfortable, don't get me wrong. But I'm not going to give them money just like that.
No.
All right, fine. We teach them money. I need a business plan from y'all. What do you want the money from? What you plan for doing the money?
How old will your kids be that you're going to need them for your business plan?
They can start from 50 years.
You realize that she's a teacher, right?
And I agree with that. I'm not saying anything wrong with that, you know.
Teachers sitting them at the worst sitting them.
There's nothing wrong with that. Stop it.
Wait, Danny, I want to hear your point before as soon as I finish.
On what?
Building generational wealth, like for your children.
Oh, for my children? Never really thought of it before because I don't know if I ever gonna have any. But I believe I'm kind of on the fence about it. Like on one side.
Let her finish.
On the one side, I say make it kind of.
Come on, quiet now.
When I make it kind of easy for them to. I'm not 100% on L's side for say. I'm not gonna give them money because growing up poor, I understand what it's like to not have.
Bitch.
Okay.
What?
Growing up poor is a bitch.
We all know this.
Right. Anyway. I wouldn't want my children to go through that, but at the same time, when I teach them the little say, all right, make sure you're creative in what you want to be. Don't just say, oh, I want to be this when I grow up, and then end up working for somebody else, generating wealth for them. Have a business mind. Say, all right, this is what I probably want to do for myself, for earn a little money for myself. And I will help them along that line, but I'm not going to invest all of the capital what they need all at once. Them are going to need free, can show me so they can work for what they want on their own.
Exactly. And there's nothing wrong with that, but we as parents, we need to teach our children this. A lot of the spoiled children, their parents do everything for them.
Yeah, I don't believe in that.
Exactly.
I don't believe in
and
that.
we should not do that. We shouldn't do that.
But I'm seeing with that happening. You know, they know they have the money, then get the money, and then just breathe through life, and then don't know the value of anything.
Exactly. I have a perfect example where back I used to live, there are two young men, same age, young men, thank you, same age, live cross from each other. Both of their parents are in the same financial situation. They have a bit of money. One is a very entrepreneurial person that works hard to see money. He's looking job, even though he already have a job and have a part of a side business, right? The other one, God knows, in his 20s and don't know for time shoes because I'm following for time shoes for him.
Wow.
That's not even a joke.
It's not special.
It's not special. In part of time shoes for him. Exactly.
Spoiled beyond spoiled, man.
That's why there's a line in Lil Nas X song where he says, if I take you everywhere, you wouldn't know how to walk, and if I spoke on your behalf, you wouldn't know how to talk.
It's like the fisherman metaphor.
Exactly. And these two boys.
And then,
Them boys.
These two young men grew up together, went to the same high school, went to UE together, right? They pursue different degrees. Both of them are making money right now, but one is more socially adept than the other. I guarantee you, the one that has the side business, if inside business ever take out, if inside business ever pick up, he's going to be a millionaire, a multi-millionaire. No denying that. The next one, even though he's making good money because of links, they're very smart, but can't deny that. He's a very intelligent young man. He's going to need to pay somebody to do everything for him. Cook, clean, wash, and doing taxes.
they get robbed and noodles.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And because daddy is no longer around to protect him, right, he will no longer be able to build any wealth. All the money, by the time he grows up, he's going to be a poor person and not going to understand why.
Get money, especially if you have money like that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I can understand why there's a big concern that once the children have an understanding that there's a money net, basically, they won't have a need or a hunger that, the rest of us would have to go forward and just...
You know what always get to me though? I agree with parents who help the children along, like to get them first jobs and so on. But when you help them through them whole life, like say, all right, you work in a certain company and say you soon retire and your child just graduate either from high school or college and you want them to get a little experience. So you go to your HR department and say, hire my son or hire my daughter and make them get a job. That is giving them too much of a boost because they're doing all the work for them. You not really make them get the opportunity to go for themselves and experience rejection. All them know is, mommy and daddy know auntie so and so who works in this and this company.
Line up for me already.
I agree with that, but the thing with that situation is that you have to look at the other side. That what if the child is genuinely actually well qualified for the position? Because
nothing wrong with that, but though if they're qualified, make them go through the system the way everybody else has to do it, which is apply on your own. Don't preference the child just because say your friend picked me.
Yeah, but if you see Marks out picking up on your resume listing for interviews in the morning and say, oh, Marks look a boy, okay,
Then you do know that Jamaica will live, right?
Exactly.
I think so. Somebody I know got their first job through yes, they got their first job through it. So what was it again? So they got their first job through it. Did you know most times you can't get job in Jamaica now without it?
Very
so
difficult.
They had to go to the entire interview thing. Everything they did, they had to work for. So even though they have the links, getting the links and getting the job is one thing. Keeping it is another.
Mm-hmm.
So it's what I agree with Danny. You can get links, but you have to work. You have to prove yourself. Just say, all right, man, links them. Just comfortable. Some person will just sit down in there and say, all right, now it look good. Some people will work their ass off and choose to, all right, and not just because I'm to get me this or mommy give me that link here. Not for sure, so move work something. You move up in there, you do your thing.
Yeah, because
You move on.
probably the reason why I'm playing as a devil's advocate with Danny's example is that I've seen situations where people actually get employment because of links. But one aspect that is very interesting that people kind of forget about is that one of the reasons why at times, not all the time, because it's really unfair to those who are in that interview pool who may be generally really good at what they do. But when you get somebody who is, say, for example, close to somebody who's employed to the company or who the intimacy there it makes things a lot more depending again. No, not complicated. It's just that, all right, which do you think you probably get more from a new position, somebody who's applying? Would you get just a random person who is interviewing, qualified just as everybody else? Or you get somebody who's a close friend, just as qualified, but if anything else, there's a level of trust within that person to say, all right, I've known XYZ in the financial sector for like 7 years. I'd want to employ him for this vacant post I have at my company. You understand? Because, again, this is Jamaica we live in. This is how most of the employments are brought about. But there are some actual good reasons as to why you want to bring someone who you can see as reliable and trustworthy than just somebody who's just random. So that's why I say I'm playing a little devil advocate, because I can understand why some higher ups would prefer to do that. That's all I'm saying.
You see, if the person where you know is qualified, and because you know their characteristics already, you're sure that they're right for the job, that's fine. But if you're just a start out in the position and you don't really have all that qualification, then that's where I have a problem.
Start out meaning what? The person who is getting the job or the person who is recommending the person?
Yeah, like
the job?
maybe it's their first serious job they're not gonna get.
Well,
And
you know what funny thing?
As never qualified for their first serious job.
Just straight to the high school. High school teachers was nothing. Sorry, not that.
Like seriously, who's ever qualified for their first serious job? Are you saying that this person is not qualified and they get put in a a high position job? Like
no, it has to be high position.
I think you mean like a starter or apprenticeship kind of thing. Just
okay, so it's an entry level job, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, then you don't need qualifications.
No, you don't. I mean, you learn for the job.
Exactly. Like everything that we learn in high school.
My issue is not with the qualifications, it's with the links and how them use it.
Lady, that's been going on for thousands of years. Man, that's where I come from. Man, that's where I come from. Man, that's where I come from. But seriously, that's how it works. Majority of person is. But I can't even say that. Like.
All right, I can even say. Sorry to cut you, Liam, but I just want to make this real quick. I can even say that I've gotten people into certain jobs because of the years that I've spent at a particular company, and one of the reasons why, because this was a vacancy that just immediately opened up, and we had to fill it immediately because this is a daily job, and one of the reasons why, literally, the manager came to me and said if I know anybody. I said, let me make a call. And I made a call, and I got a young man to actually fill in the post within, like, say, 2-3 days. Literally, he came and did an interview just like everybody else, But
my friend, she was in university at the time, and a big post became available.
Right.
And the director advised the person, all right, there's a job available. I think it would be a good something when she
good fit, right.
Yeah, and she's been doing awesome in that job.
I think
I've never gotten a job by a link, and I don't have an issue with person who get job by a link. I've seen person who got job, they do
it really good,
and they are amazing at it.
Exactly. I think when people say links, it's a bad connotation to say like this dark nepotism. To say all right, the crony.
It depends on the type. Like I said, to get what you're not qualified for, you don't do.
Exactly.
Most persons who are suggesting person for position, they are normally qualified in their decision to pick a person.
And then again, with these applications, and they want how much years of experience. And so, that makes sense. You want a young person between the ages of 25 to 30 with 5 years of experience.
This reminds me.
Degree, safety subjects them.
What? This reminds me of a COVID-19 application that I saw on a video.
Yes.
You remember it?
Yes.
This guy said you must have 2 years.
2 years experience in 2020, COVID-19 to about 2019.
And COVID-19 wasn't even a year yet. COVID-19 was not even a year old yet. Just to show you, they must have 2 years in COVID-19 testing. I'm like, oh my God.
They must have talked about the secret labs where they'd have the inner China where they did our
But who would apply? If it's a secret lab.
Somebody who did our the secret job.
If it's a secret lab, who would apply?
That's like you don't even need to apply, then just call your boss.
So, yeah, because I literally even saw another job that said, all right, you must have, for example, you must have, what's it, 7 years? Like, say, 7 years in accounting, whatever, work experience. Or, I'm like you literally have to prepare yourself a good portion of your life to get this job, and you might not get this job. You know how ridiculous that's so?
And then when you're in that job, it's not like something you're investing.
The level of task you're doing doesn't require the level of qualification they're asking for.
Exactly. And I've heard.
What our first degree.
You know what? It's funny to me when. It's funny when people tell you, "Oh, you're overqualified for this position." I'm like,
oh God, don't even say that. Don't even say that. You know this man, it's going that they say they can't pay and kind of overqualified. The man still on for that bench of still that guy.
Like seriously?
But I think when people overqualified, they can't pay me. What am I do with that?
It's cool because they push you. Oh, 8 subjects. They show you, 11 subjects, 13 subjects.
And when you're heavy, you're overqualified. Because apparently they don't want anybody with a degree. Because if you have a degree, you're overqualified. I'm afraid if I get a doctorate, for God's sake, what's gonna happen? I'm sorry, we can't employ you. You're.
I want that, but that's just the doctor in front of the name. That's the L.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it's not to the PA because we know I'm not get the PA out there. So.
Nobody will go pay me. Not in Jamaica. But it's just funny that you can be overqualified for a job that you're applying for.
But it's dangerous, because I had to dumb down my resume the other day just to apply for a job.
See?
Meaning I have to X out my degree and check off some of the subject they want me doing at Cape and C-Sec.
Same blasted thing, is it?
But when me see that resume that coming like an autobiography, so back cover.
What, my resume?
No,
my resume?
Her resume is an essay.
Really?
Her resume is an essay.
What am I doing with my life? Aren't we the same age? What?
You're wondering, what have I done with my life?
Exactly.
No one even say, wait, overqualified for the position. Yeah, you have to dump that. You have to more than dump that down. You have to type that.
You have to condense your resume.
Like when you come in with your resume, they say, "No, they're gonna come for my job."
Yeah, that's because so my auntie knew a lady who used to work with her. Her husband went to Canada before she come up there, and they have a son, so them transfer the son to a high school up there. So she's like, all right, I do my master's in the position I'm in now at work. I must can get a job in the same position as foreign. So when she go to Canada now, she never put on she forgets to update her resume to say she have the master's and she get the job. So it look like say a position open up that would be the best fit for her.
But
so
it
she
requires
updates
a
her
master's.
resume now and copy her doctorate certificate and carry it in. The people them fire because them say she come for other people's job.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, them could at least just reject her and keep her in the position where she be in her before. Don't fire her.
Exactly.
Are they laws to protect her and stuff?
I don't think so. No, I'm not sure about that.
Well, the law would be a bit funny because she wouldn't be a national for that country.
Yeah.
This is that. This is for that.
Yeah, so it would be a bit messy, and the money that she'll probably have to spend just to get anything going would be worth it anyway, unless she's guaranteed a big turnover.
And it's been months since them fire. She can't get a new job. Cause it look like say, employers must be call up her old job and I ask why them fire her. And them must say, oh, but she already she's overqualified for this, and them now want her to move up. And where she's black. So they might look fun that. So the woman depressed now. She wonder if she should have come back to Jamaica because her son so graduate, so that he not really need them anymore. He's doing well. The husband, I don't know what the relationship is like between them, but she's literally biting her nails off. I wonder if she could come back to Jamaica and try to get a job here.
She might get a job here. Or take it with an international resume. More than likely, she can get a job.
She has well. How many years after she been up here?
I don't know.
I guess you probably need to dump down her resume then, like what you do.
Probably. Because it affect the marriage now, because the man is like, which is weird because he was always the breadwinner, but she was making more money than him in the position she did in her. So it's like, so now that it transfer over to him to provide for the two of them, it make them clash. He's like, you better find a job quick, you know. I mean, no matter what kind of job you find.
What?
No.
Wait, I thought you were gonna say that he was uncomfortable because she was making. Wait, did you say that he was making more money than the guy?
She was making more money than him, but he was the main breadwinner.
Wait, how does that work?
He's the one that's spending the most of the money while she saves most of hers.
Yeah.
Ah, God help me. Okay. I actually understood that, but I didn't want to believe it. But all right, that's a thing.
There's nothing wrong with that, you know. If their finances are combined, so he spend the money and she put her money in saving and investment, and both of them benefit from it. There's nothing wrong with that.
But we don't know if that's the case.
A special mature couple for that.
Then who we are doing?
I said a special mature couple.
Which are very special about the world.
80-20.
Anyway.
I'm going to give my child a boost up. If you have your company, will you make your child work here?
No.
Okay. That's Danny. Leo?
What was the question?
If you have your company, will you let your child like intern there or something? I don't know.
I can sense the tension in his face.
I want to, but here's the thing. I know that I'll be a good father, but I'm a very bad boss.
Order your thoughts. Yeah. There we go.
So
he would suffer.
If my child is working for me,
this is where me and Leo. This is where me and Leo can have a commonality. This is literally.
I say yes. No. My child works for me. Oh, that's weird.
No, we both. No, we said yes, but I can agree with Leo that my child would suffer under my employer. My child will literally suffer.
You ain't getting no big position that much. You're getting a little internship.
No, but you want to need into this child the worth ethic that you wanted to carry on even after you've departed from this mortal plane.
You work your way up. You start intern. If you see the good, but you move up to the next
and worse if remember, you know, the entire company is going to be aware that this is your child, so you can't give any special treatment. So the child has to suffer.
Brother, my father is a truth man. From me at 12 to me at 19, every holiday I was at his shop working with him. Every holiday,
oh Lord,
this man would treat me like a king, like a king, until we reach at the shop.
Okay.
I've never been more afraid. I respected this man more since I started work for him. Wow. I was terrified. I finally understand why everybody in our community is afraid of him. He was terrifying.
But no, you have the horror to build your character.
Yeah, and that's true. And He's the reason.
This separation was
He's one of the reasons why
you
I'm
have
rich.
entrepreneurship. Right. That's where your spirit came from.
Look on the man tell him, I love you, but I'm not going to work for nobody else.
Now work for people.
I just admit the fitness so far.
Huh?
Isn't that the pretty much thing the way they
No, you see how I get when I'm aggressive. Mm-hmm. I'm more aggressive than my father. Mm-hmm. I'm afraid that I might be too aggressive on my child.
No, you're just in your suffering, but I thought there was a thing.
So, I know that I suffer in my class, but I'm harsher than my father.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you are.
She's saying a lot.
Really and they're saying a lot. My father, talked to me and say I'm too aggressive.
Your father told you.
Yeah, that I am too aggressive. The aggressive man telling me I'm too aggressive. and that's the thing. You don't see it a lot, but when it comes out on hard.
Mm.
When I'm working, like I have. Stop it. Like I'm working, I've worked with. So, you guys know that I have a small business now, Milo.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness! Everybody that has ever worked with me said they're either afraid of me or I'm a slave driver.
Sounds about right.
This nigga.
I'm just agreeing.
Yeah.
So I'm afraid that I might be too harsh on my child.
Don't worry.
Just be glad you're not being called a dictator. Because they've attached that to me. They've attached that to me at my workplace. And the funny thing, and I've said this to Danny even on another conversation, where basically, because of my position, I literally only report to the managers and the owners, right? So even the supervisors, they literally have nothing above me. I can literally, if I want, I can check in any department because that's part of my job. So because of that now, everyone says that I'm very, even my manager said, you're very, people say you're very brash, very harsh. I don't think well, you can probably think it's hard, but I'm just very direct. I don't play around. If I need to ask a question, I just ask a question and that's it. Have a nice day. But they said I'm brash.
Make a little pack now and say, all right, we're not going to encourage people to own place of work, but probably ship them out to one at each other one. So go and stay with Uncle Mikhail for the summer.
That's not a bad idea,
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Actually sounds fun.
That's actually so interesting.
Yeah, I like that.
And we can send people names. All right, go and stay with Uncle Leo. No.
Well, we would basically transfer our sons and say you will spend this summer. Come back alive if you can.
You can attend noble houses.
I'm sorry.
Like them noble homes, the experience on other person raise them and send them back to them house, conquer the kingdom.
Yeah, man, that's what they did in I can't remember which European kingdom did that, but they did transfer that kind of
England,
ideology.
France,
yeah,
German.
Right. But they transferred that ideology. If anybody here reads, well, not read, if you know about like DC Comics, you know that High Father and Dark Side and High Father exchange their sons for the sake of peace. And this is a beautiful analogy on how an environment can mold somebody. Because when you look at Darkseid's son, who is really High Father's son, he literally grew up in the pits of apocalypse.
Mr. Miracle.
Yeah.
Nanny,
are
you still there?
I'm here.
Yeah.
Are you lost like I am?
No.
You actually understand this Marvel comic foolishness?
DC
the example went over my head.
How dare you, woman?
But understand the concept.
But yeah, the analogy still stands.
I'm appalled, to say the least.
Why?
That you'd exchange your children.
I'm not giving them for life.
Let me tell you why. There was a story that two babies were born in the same hospital. I don't remember which country it was. But somehow they got mixed up. So about 19 years later or probably 17 years later, somehow them find out that they're in the wrong families. So them set out to search for who them belong to, right? When the person and one child grew up really poor, like dirt poor, and went to a public school.
It sounds
the
like
other
the
one
princess and the
was
pauper.
in a rich family, and then send him to a private school, so him get all the prim and proper treatment. Him have butlers that call him sir or master, all that jazz. So when the mothers meet now, the poor one was like, all right, I want my son back. The rich one was like, I miss my son. I wish I had a connection with him, but I don't want him.
Yeah.
I spent all these years growing up your son as mine. There's an attachment there I don't think I can get over, so I don't want to break it. I know that the son who grew up rich decided to him now want to move back with his mother either because he enjoys his life too much, forgot to a public school.
Of course.
And forgot because the poor one has to hustle with his mother too, you know. Which means that the rich one has to go hustle with the poor mother. He's like, nope, I'm not leaving.
I'm not about that life.
No.
Danny?
Yes?
Danny, I understand what you're saying, and that's terrible. But two things. First, I do blame the rich one because when you're rich, you don't want to go back poor, right? So I'm not rich and I don't want to go back poor. Two, and most importantly, we're not exchanging our children for life. We're sending them over so they can work in a company with their character and get experience. We're not switching fitness for life.
And not when I'm a baby neither.
And not when I'm a baby.
Them just go work. So his child will work with me for the summer. And my child will work by his for the summer. That's the premise of it all.
And hopefully they'll come back alive and see him.
Yes, because they will come back. They should. The thing, they should come back more appreciative of the father they have. Because they went through hell with another person.
I thought they then fall in love with the other person. I wish that them never have to go back home.
Yeah, month?
That'll be funny if like Tony's like, Dad, deuces, I'm gone. Uncle Mikael, what's up?
Alright, let's take it this way. Danny? I give you my daughter to keep this summer.
Not your mind though.
Yes?
That child is going to be so quiet though.
You have a choice. I'll just come and take her if
that
I'm ready.
Child is going to be so quiet when she comes back.
Which child?
The one.
My child?
No. Elle's child is going to spend a summer with you.
Why you think so?
You're not going to socialize with the child. That's basically what I'm saying. What do you think I'm trying to say?
Who tell her that?
You tell me that. So you mean to tell me that you're going to verbally engage this child for 2 months?
Not up. So that was to have the child so that I stare up on the 4 walls.
What would you do with the child?
I'm so confused. Why are we changing children? Aren't we just changing them for work?
Yeah.
Me and you were talking about work. Elle got on a whole different thing.
No, I was just asking because she said she never trust him. I mean, sometimes I have to go stay over Auntie Danny.
No, I'm not sending my son to your house. I'm saying to Leo's workplace for the summer.
Well, if I'm not allowing my child to work for me, why would I allow my friend's child to work for me?
Okay.
Is that easier to manage?
No, them would I get the same special treatment because I know they have a friend's child.
You not give them special treatment?
So you're a big soft
It
stick.
would come off. That's why I say I wouldn't make my child work for me because I feel like I give them special treatment.
Oh, please, no.
Is it because you lack special treatment growing up? Why you think you would infer that on a child? Why?
No, everything that I didn't get growing up, I am determined to give it to my child.
That's what I just said.
I want them to benefit. Oh, well, yeah.
Danny.
Yeah?
You know you're evil, right?
I'm not evil.
Oh, that's the problem we're having. She's in denial.
Oh, in the night.
No, you get it. Now you get it.
Keep talking, and I'm like, this is not her personality at all.
I said it already. She's low-key evil.
There's no low-key about it. She's just evil full stop.
What did I do to give you that impression?
Oh, low-key.
There you get it. Now you get me. All right.
That was a nice joke.
Like, the moment you accept it, it better it's evil. If I accept that it's evil, there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. So
we're all,
evil.
in all honesty, we're all a bit a different form of evil by itself.
Exactly.
Your percentage a little higher than
the rest of us.
yes.
Really no.
I wouldn't say higher. I'd say it's in a different realm that we're all three of us have not yet visited. You know.
Yeah, like the heavenly realm of evil.
Yeah, something along those lines.
The only reason why people don't know about you is just that you can't bother.
Okay.
What he's trying to say is, to the outsider, to the public view, you're nice, you're quiet. But when somebody really gets to know you, I've said it already, there's a reason why I would not train you, because you are naturally violent.
And what have I done to give you this impression?
It's not what you've done.
You don't talk, you don't
we're talking about Danny right now, okay?
Don't worry, we soon go to you.
No, we're not. We're saying I'm Danny right now.
No, we're all getting dissected tonight.
No, we are saying I'm Danny tonight.
You may not realize it, but you have a lethality to you that is very intriguing. It's not something that you'd usually use, but it's there, and we all see it.
Okay.
Anyone who knows you is an evil.
Like,
just send us a message.
I get what you're saying. Like, you have a beauty in the.
Yes.
Like, you do like an artwork. There's a beauty in how you portray your nastiness.
Don't say nastiness.
That's not where I would go with.
I don't mean like that. I just don't want to say evil again.
Deviousness.
Devious nature. Say devious nature. There's a beauty to her devious nature.
It's like.
And it's so funny because.
Like I would sit down and watch you start our village. So beautiful like you.
What?
Exactly.
The blood and the kind of a river.
Exactly.
Different shades.
Exactly.
You know, I feel like so not only I said it because I'm quiet.
No, trust me, it's not that.
No.
It's not that.
I'm telling you, go on WhatsApp
as a flashback. No, as a flashback. Remember there was a time when you and I went to watch a movie some years ago. And this is you saying, I didn't interject in any way, shape, or form. It's basically you saying that, all right, if somebody comes across us, these are two very dangerous, bad people. You punch them, I probably stab and kill them. They're just afraid. Why are these two people attacking us? Like, we came to rob you, but instead we're getting our ass whooped. You said this.
Really?
I said nothing.
I don't recall this conversation.
I do.
You never recall when you did anything evil in us. I remember you vandalized the wall over my house when we were little. And you gave me something to the cousin. And when you see it years later, you're like, who did this? I'm like, who did it? Why? I don't know.
A part of the reason why you're so quiet is that you literally understand the darkness within you. And because of the darkness within you, you allow yourself to literally... You guys have watched Teen Titans? She literally reminds me of Raven.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was identified with her.
There you go.
Exactly.
And she's the most dangerous out of the lot.
Say no more. Say no more.
She literally has a freaking demon inside her. There we go.
Yeah, she is. Her football is like the king of the underworld or something like that.
Yeah, he's a DC comic of Satan.
Yeah.
Technically, no. He's one of the different Satans, but that's a different discussion for another day. The funny thing, he's...
No, they retcon him. He's the Alpha.
Oh, they did? Really?
Yeah.
So, hold on. Did they all...
There's other one, but they all serve him.
You know what's kind of messed up to me though is that for some strange reason, um, Etrigan. You remember? I ever heard of Etrigan, the demon?
Yes.
Apparently, Etrigan. Yeah, gone, the form of man, bring forth the demon Etrigan. Apparently, Etrigan is actually the uncle, the uncle of Raven, because Trigon, no, lie, shit, cousin. They're cousins. Etrigan and Raven are cousins because Trigon is his uncle. I'm like, wow, okay, that's a thing.
There are more weird and twist up things on it. Raven have 3 brothers.
Oh yeah, the 3 demon brothers.
They're not demon, they're half demon like her.
Mm-hmm.
She's just more powerful because her mother was a witch.
She, the witch of Azarath.
Exactly. And because of that, the brothers use their demonic power more, while Raven use magic.
Gone, the form of man. Bring forth the demon Etrigan.
Okay, let's not repeat those things.
Okay.
Sorry. Sorry about
y'all went way off topic there.
Next topic.
I don't want y'all summoning whatnot.
Oh yeah.
Summoned,
We'll finish that, Danny?
Yes, finish with Danny. L. So, how would we...
No, let's not. Why don't we do Michelle?
You know, the funny thing is that the other day, this is no joke, the other day, for some reason, in my mind, I'm saying, it kind of reminds us, all 4 of us, reminds me of Iroh's speech about the 4 elements. Like, Leo is definitely fire, because he has desire and will and the fuel to achieve what he wants. What was that? What did she say?
Nothing.
So yeah, I'm literally thinking about it. I'm like, so Leo would definitely be fire because he has the desire, will, and fuel to get what he wants, right? So that's Leo. And for some reason, I'm thinking that L is actually water.
No.
Hold on.
No.
Hold on. Hear the rationale. Listen to the rationale. The reason why I said L would be water. Hold on. Remember, water has different facets. I mean, blood bending is a thing, so bear with me. The reason why I said that is that, funny enough, she literally fits what it would mean to have community within the water tribe. Because for God's sake, she tracked my ass down for some strange and unforeseen reason. So she's pretty good at keeping people together, is what I'm saying. And then for some reason...
Because we had a communal point for your entire family.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
She's the entry point for all 3 of us. Think about it for a minute. We wouldn't be... You don't see it. How do you not see it? She's literally the connecting thread within us 4.
Really?
Yeah.
Think about it. Our relation, hold on. Our relation to her is this: Leo, husband, best friend, Danny, and basically, what do you call me now? What am I in this situation? The backup, whatever. I'm kidding, but yeah, she basically was one of the main reasons to pull us all together, right? So she would fit under that aspect of community. Remember, water also has blood bending, so there is a devious nature to her as well.
Yep.
So she may be lovey-dovey.
Don't forget, water can quell fire. She's the only woman that can ever put me in my place.
Exactly. She calms you down, nigga.
You're not calm me down, put me in my place.
You play.
Like I'm afraid of her sometimes.
Exactly. She doesn't look that dangerous, but she is. She flipped you, for God's sakes, man.
Thank you.
And pinned you.
On the surface, dangerous on the sea.
Okay. Just like the sea. So, yeah. But then I'm thinking to myself that I don't know why I struggle with the last 2, because I think I'm like air, because I detach myself from worldly concerns.
Yes, you are air.
Yeah.
We can clearly say that. You're the philosopher and the wanderer that goes on speaking out worldly wisdom. In Avatar, airbenders were always the philosopher that gave worldly wisdom to everyone.
And apparently they have very good sense of humor, which I'm still trying to figure out if that's true for me or not. And then and it's funny that we brought up Danny's resume, because she's literally the epitome of hard work and dedication.
I'm just thinking earthquake and that just starts. Why don't we want to run that?
I was thinking more like blunt.
Yes, very direct and blunt.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing more blunt than throwing a rock in your face. So yeah. So she would be Earth. Yeah, man. She's not. I mean, stubborn like a rock.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. So.
Let's be honest. Danny has beat through some shit, and she's come across probably even stronger than before. So I'm just saying that's Earth.
Didn't she stone somebody one time?
She stoned somebody one time?
Who?
What? Oh, okay. I'm like, that's an interesting memory. Let's dive into that one.
So, the honest, message versus doing the streets of it.
Okay. I love how we get into these conversations. So yeah, I don't know why I was having that thought a couple of days ago, but it was just so funny to me how we kind of fit into those molds.
Maybe that's why we work so well together.
Yeah, I think so. So
I remember Danny's first time we went to the beach together. He did not want to go into the beach.
Whenever that's about money at one point,
Yeah, no.
we that's about money at one point. How will we try so far?
To earthbending.
To Avatar.
Boy. I think I remember how we got here, but I don't want to do the mental work anymore. So I'm not gonna bother. But we do need to close out the generational wealth. So
yeah, let's go back.
Oh yeah, we spoke about it. You're the one that didn't give our opinion about it.
Right. So my honest opinion is that I want to create generational wealth for the sake of legacy. And it's literally basically everything that you've all said. I need to teach my children, and I intend to, vigorously. They will be taught the importance of just not just understanding the proclivity of finance, but also the importance of understanding the society that you're in, your environment, the law, because all of these things are going to make or break you whether you like it or not. There's a reason why they said that if you want to reach very far in life, there's a certain collection of people that you must have. Primarily, you must have someone who's very good with money, preferably an accountant. And you must have somebody who's a master at understanding the written law, usually a solicitor or a lawyer, depending on which country you're in.
I just thought of something. Maybe come just about Avatar.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just thinking, let's send a child to each one of us. So each one have one pillar to teach. One teach about money, one teach about
that's...
and they just...
So what, we're teaching the Avatar?
Yeah,
we're creating our own mini avatars, basically. That's a nice idea. Because when you think about it, it's a combination of all these four things that made Avatar so powerful. Because they have all of these traits.
And we all have our powerful points. We just use that to teach the child.
Okay. Okay. All right. Name a powerful points then. All four of them.
It should be fun.
So you have the philosopher over there and critical thinker.
Okay.
You have the artistic one, which is Danny.
Mm-hmm.
You have the money one.
Me, obviously.
Exactly. I got 3 out of the 4.
No. Everybody did know what the 3 was. What was uncertain was yours.
Teach them how to manage on the backside, personalities.
No.
All the crazy personalities.
The Avatar, what's your pillar?
Okay, you know what's really funny though is that she's basically proving what I just said. She's good at bringing people together, and her idea is to bring our children together. So she is actually using her function.
Somebody can know that for picking them down.
Why you have to say it like that?
What she said?
I lie.
She basically said that we basically want somebody to load off for picking them fun. No. Don't say that.
I've known Elle for almost all my life. I've known her for 24 years.
Wow.
Oh, damn. Girl.
And in multiple times in those years, she said she's made it known that she don't want her picking them permanently. She just wants somebody to take care of them half the time.
Okay. So it's not just no.
Exactly.
Oh God, help us. Why would Leo defend you? He knows it's true.
Leo, defend.
Danny?
Yeah?
Danny, I just have one thing to say.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
Oh dear.
So you need to have them picking them. They don't know them, you know, put on the book. Alright. You get them July this. You get that.
She have to prove a point right now. She have a book of people. She's going to pick them for each month.
Whoa.
The more you ask to pick me, the more you write on my book.
What the hell? Who the hell are you training? Batman? That's the only child I knew who did that much of traveling, you know.
Because they're going to have your DNA, so public training them is not. You know, I'll keep them, never mind.
Yeah, what's wrong with my DNA?
Because your friends them are starting up a resilient army because they're afraid they think they might become a dictator and take over the world.
Oh, yeah, I'm still do that. Completely forgot.
You
Keep
But I don't want to be a dictator anymore.
if I send them over to Danny is already secretly evil. They already have your evil genes. She has your the evil genes.
You know, this actually sound like a book, like after movie plot.
Here we go.
Okay, like here what?
I'm listening.
My friend, they told me that to give them chance to have kids first because they need to train their kids to fight off my child when they are born.
Wow.
Because apparently
They know how dangerous.
They
They know how dangerous your child is gonna be.
Apparently, I'm an evil dictator,
Mhm.
and if I don't succeed, my child will. So they're going to fight me off, and they want their child to be ready to fight off mine.
You know what's
And
funny?
What Ellie's saying, she's saying that if I have a child and I'm sending it off to you, you guys,
just to Danny. Danny is evil.
to Danny, and so they gain the intelligence to be a dictator.
Wow.
You will teach him about money. You teach him about money and fighting. But no, you will teach him about fighting and philosophy.
Yeah.
Then you will teach him to think creatively to use an intelligence to take over the world. Then so you have to teach him.
I'm the only one here trying to teach them peace. Now three are going against me, so.
Well, in the book Princes of Machiavelli, they said that violence
Machiavelli.
is not the way to keep a kingdom, right? You need to use violence to gain the kingdom, but you need peace to rule afterwards. So the peace will actually benefit them in the long run.
All right, so I'll just keep them and
No, it's okay. It's okay. That's funny. That's actually funny.
Wait, Leo, sorry to go off on a tangent. Have you ever watched a movie called Starship Troopers?
Yeah.
Oh, this reminds me of like the first classroom scene where they asked a question. This girl said violence never solves anything, and the man's like, "Oh, really? I wonder what the city father of Hiroshima would say to that." And then a student parents are like, "They wouldn't say anything. Hiroshima was destroyed." For those who remember their history, Hiroshima was a lovely Japanese city, bombed to hell by the lovely Americans.
Yes, nuclear bomb.
And that bomb is the reason why World War II basically ended. Because everybody was like, you know what? We all have these bombs.
Was it Nakashima? No, you have Hiroshima, you have Nagasaki.
Nagasaki.
Two places that bomb.
Right, the two places.
No, it was
one
2 days apart.
They both got warnings. Apparently they had flyers falling out of the sky to warn people, evacuate, else we're going to bomb this place. So because of that, no, that's one of the main push. That's why we have NATO even now, this whole nuclear discussion that we have for decades on end. So when people saw destructive power,
where would we evacuate to?
We would die. We have to evacuate in the sea.
you
would have to evacuate in the sea or die.
That's why if you're in a submarine, that's why people say that if there's a nuclear disaster, the only things that would survive are the cockroaches and those Navy officers who are in submarines at the time. Literally everything on Earth just wiped right the hell out. So, yeah, those are the reasons why World War II ended, and that the lecture continues to say that basically violence has solved more problems than this so-called peace. And then he asks the question, what is the moral difference, if any, between a civilian and a citizen? That one I always remember that because it's always funny. Because basically it said that, well, the difference is that
in conflict, the civilians are persons not a part of the army.
right, because in that universe, even for you to get the right to vote, you have to do military service. And well, not even right to vote. Here's the funny thing: you have once you do military service, you have the right to vote. You get military aid to go to any university or get any degree that you want. You have to be a citizen, meaning having served in the military, to get permission to have a baby. Yeah. Trust me, it's literally a militarized society. Very hyper-militarized. No joke. It's almost a military man's wet dream in a way. Trust me, it's a very fascinating thing because basically they said that citizens do whatever they need to do to protect the body politic, while civilian does not. So civilian will benefit from the society that is built. The citizen is the one that builds and maintains and protects the society as it goes forward. That's why you can't become a citizen unless you've done military service.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. It's a funny thing to look at. Anyway, back to Machiavelli.
What else?
No, I think Leo was saying something about Machiavelli.
I was saying that because Elle was saying she wants to keep them peace, I was saying that peace will benefit them, that become a good ruler. To become a ruler, you need violence, but to keep being a ruler, you need peace.
Mm-hmm.
She teaching them peace will benefit them in the long run to be a dictator. There's nothing wrong with that.
Let's go back to Mikhail and his point on building wealth in children, generational wealth. Come on for me.
Yeah, for me, I would want to build wealth that basically survives at least. Well, I'm being optimistic, but if at least 3 generations, I'd want the wealth to at least survive. Meaning what I've built as a foundation, people build and add on. Meaning every generation leaves their own legacy. So if I leave, let's say a house and some plot of land and some assets, right? Let's say I have 100 different stocks, for example, along with all the assets that I have outside as physical assets. The next generation that comes up, my children, they probably add on a business that they leave, or some stock that they own at another competitor's company that we are engaged in, blah blah blah. And then the third generation, like it's I would like it to be a building block. So whatever I lay the ground with, it stays there for every generation. Whatever the other generation lays, it stays there for the other generation, and it just accumulates and accumulates over time. But that takes a lot of discipline, and you literally you have to create a strong will. I realize within yourself, within yourself, the family structure, because
the same we found the other day. The one about the cameo. The one about the cameo.
Oh yeah, there was a thing that says are you guys hearing me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This rich guy said that my grandfather rode a camel. My father rode a camel.
I drive a car.
I drive a Mercedes. My son drive a Range Rover. His son drive a Range Rover, but his son will ride a camel.
I remember that said, yeah. Ah, boy. It's funny.
My favorite one, I like this one better though. In the Bible, a good man leaves an inheritance for his grandchildren, for his children's children.
That is true.
Every children have gone there yourself.
What I'm trying to say, you need enough for him to can inherit from. it doesn't just mean to it doesn't retain children. It means to leave enough from family and live off and do some.
I just don't want to waste your time, build money, and then just wander it off after some foolishness man.
That's where the training comes in, because when they're younger, you have to indoctrinate them and show them, all right, I want you to look at this. What we have here, you are very fortunate. I took time, years to build this. No, you must build this, because if you don't, it's going to be a lot harder for you to start from scratch. It's going to be even more difficult for your children going forward to build for themselves. Because whether you like it or not, inflation is a constant thing. $20 20 years ago, not the same now. God forbid if we reach a point where exactly. God forbid if we reach a point where we get a new monetary note. I mean, even right now, the US dollar is high as hell.
Yeah.
So whether you like it or not, the value of money is going to change over time. So they need to build, prepare, and execute, and they need to teach that exact set of skills to the next generation.
You also have children, no matter what you teach. I'm saying, yeah, your points are right, and I agree with it. But you have some children, no matter what you teach them, it's not bad.
Yeah, just asking to get children.
No, I'm just saying. I'm not saying that it's wrong, but I'm just saying, yes, we teach them, fine. And if we can teach them, train them, and then something then fine. You know, nothing to worry about. They have the bad beat, this quote-unquote bad beat with them. What am I telling you tell them to do? Then that's not bad.
Okay. So, I understand what you're saying, but your logic, even though you don't speak, your logic seems like every picnic can be a bad beat picnic, so you should not give them the well.
I'm not going to do this then just like that. That's honest. But no, that I agree with that. And I agree with your points. It's not that I'm not disagreeing with you guys. I'm just raising the other points attached to it.
Okay.
So we all have valid points, is what we can all agree to. And it's not easy.
The issue is because men have such varying viewpoints, and we're going to have fitness together.
Yeah, that's the thing I want to go on it up. So let me try and understand. So let's say, for instance, what could be used for need of money now? All right, school trips. How would you go about that for the child?
School what?
School trips, like outings.
Is it an educational one, or is it like one of those?
Just a fun one. They're going to Disney World.
Banquets or them thing there.
They're going to Disney World. They're going to Disney World. Would you fund your child to go?
A foreign trip yourself.
Right. The kid wants to go to Disney World or Universal Studios.
Them if they know to raise the money for go.
Oh, you want them to raise the money?
If they can find a way. It depends. If it's like a reward, them do good in school or something, fine. If they raise half the money or some of them arithmetic afterwards,
if them through the determination of a child get there and they own, then we say.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the factor would be the child determination.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
And start with them square back. Money more go Disneyland.
So here.
But I'm not saying I'll go Disneyland when you can go.
So here's another question. Degrees. Are you gonna let your child sort that out financially for themselves, or are you gonna finance that? Because you're legally obligated to pay for their school and all the supplies that they would need for that basic, primary, and high school period. But for the sake of for tertiary education, no. What's the option? Depends.
So here, how would I start?
Because they have them trust fund already.
No, if I say with the trust fund, like, first and foremost, yeah, I want them to learn a skill too, but that's it. First and foremost, then grade average, right? Then personality, and what they want to do with themselves after school.
Must have a plan.
Yeah, but now I go pay for them degrees, then just want mess a role to them to figure out what they want to do.
This reminds me of
No, I went to the, even though I didn't get it, you want to go in politics. That's why I'm eager for my degree. If it wasn't for that, but I start work right away.
This is kind of funny.
Back to the question, would you sponsor? Do we answer that? Would you sponsor your child?
You said it depends.
Yes, but with condition.
Okay.
Everything is condition, even our love.
Conditions apply.
Conditions apply.
Because the problem is that, I don't know if I sent the article in the group, but UE is increasing, discussing about the increase in their tuition by 4%, which would bring it... Yeah.
What?
Which would bring up the yearly, I think the yearly was about 286,000, somewhere there. So with the 4% added, it's going to literally roll over to about 300,000, thereabout.
I don't know what my child takes student loans, so anything I'm running for take student loans.
I'm so
Yeah, but by the time... Okay.
You know what, then take student loan, and you actually want them to finish that regard?
Yes.
Is that was always a kick off?
Is that we're fire and water, we don't grant anything.
Oh, Lord. So, alright, so you guys would...
We don't know. They can't be one without the other?
Not really, no. I think you guys are like two puzzle pieces. You're not exactly the same shape.
And it's still online? Oh, wait, I've done it call, so you should have seen it.
Yes,
Wow.
You're like, oh, is Annie gone? No, it's her call. No, I think you guys are like two puzzle pieces. You're differently shaped, but you somehow fit together perfectly. If you understand what I'm saying. You ever look at some puzzle pieces that are just weirdly shaped and you just connect them and just make a nice picture?
Oh.
Yeah, that's basically it.
I theme of our wedding, opposite attract. What you
That was what?
Relative?
Oh, yeah, you didn't pay much attention to the wedding.
Wait, what happened to the wedding?
I was there before you. I was there almost before you.
I blame your sister.
Blame my...
Wait, hold on. What happened at the wedding?
Nothing.
Okay.
I was there for hours by myself.
You were waiting.
No, nobody was there.
Wait, nobody was there?
Church by myself.
In everybody else's defense, I did tell you not to do a morning wedding, but no, you wanted to do a morning wedding knowing damn well that half of your people them are late. That's up. 90% of your people are not morning people. The glad will even make it before midday.
Ah, boy.
I did tell you, no, you want early morning.
All right, let's not stray any further because I know how we reach wedding. But so my answer now,
yeah, if you would.
Tuition thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'd probably pay it for the first year and then make them hustle and pay it themselves for the last 2 years. Or
that's gonna be rough, because if the increases go forward, like say the next 20 years, a degree that you'd pay like say $1 million for, the equivalent of what a medical degree is right now is probably what your child would have to pay for to get the same exact degree that you have right now, which basically costs about $1 million.
Here's the beauty of what I'm seeing that's taking place in most of the world right now. Degrees are becoming less important, and skill and technical issues are becoming more important than games.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it. So I'm happy for that. There are still some things that you need to pay for, like medicine, obviously, lawyers and stuff like that. But because you have other institutions that are willing to teach at a much cheaper price, those costs will go down eventually. It may take 5 years to a decade for it to happen, but it will happen.
I feel robbed. That's all I say. You told me to go get a degree and go get your high-paid job.
Yeah.
People who still work are making the money. I feel robbed. I feel betrayed. I feel lied to.
Dear God.
Y'all told me that I should get a degree, get a nice paying job. You want to skill people them, I make the same amount of money in a week for me to take a month.
No, forget about skilled people. The soup man right now I make more money than me and you. Because if I make money every day. The soup man. If you think about it,
that's what I feel. Cooking.
The soup man I make literally money after boil water, you know. And he doesn't have to wait.
I work 8 hours and even the weekend, Mr. Day I don't work. You turn around the computer for me and talk on I try to work. But supposed to have a weekend to myself.
Oh Lord help us.
I don't have my weekend. I don't have my day off to myself. They work me.
And for me, I work here. When I work here.
No. You know why that work?
Why?
That work pay me.
Dear Lord.
You don't.
Slavery. Modern day slavery. I'm kidding.
Well, I would like, them always tell them fools if I grow up and now I know the truth.
Yeah,
and I would tell my child the truth. If you want to take up a skill, do one. It's cheaper and you make more money. You never spend how much millions to go to school and then struggle to get a job to get bare minimum.
But here's the plot twist to that now.
Yeah,
just like how you were told to get a degree, you want to tell your child get a skill. You see, by the time them reach the same age as you when you get your degree, that's going to become obsolete.
Yeah, man, do both. I would send my child to vocational and regular university. So they have both a skill and a degree.
Every summer you take up a skill, learn a skill next summer. Bye.
Yeah, man, you can send them a heart. So one semester they do electrical, another year they do mechanical. Yeah, you have to mix it up. That's why summers.
Which one you like? I get to interview them, please. Which one you like? What you have a talent for? If you do your hands, good, you're going to start carpentry. Because you like destroy my appliance, the blender, all right, good, you're going to stop making it, make back my blender.
Oh Lord. Well, me personally, for my children, I
make them good at teething.
Make them good at teething.
Yeah, what if they're good at stealing stuff?
They can work with the police.
Right, that's perfect.
What was that show? With Leonardo DiCaprio. He was a man.
Catch Me If You Can. Love that movie.
That's one of my favorite movies.
Love that movie.
He was a master thief and fraud person and ended up work with
This nigga pretended to be a medical doctor, a lawyer, an airplane pilot, a teacher.
With all of it. I think him get bored and turn himself in at one point. Another, I want me on the end.
He got caught.
I'm trying to get caught after how many years?
Just 2 years, I think. 4 years about.
But anyway, ended up work for them. The point, so the detective who worked for him was like,
yeah. He's the reason why the fraud unit in the FBI. Yeah, this nigga worked for the FBI. He's the reason why they can actually check fraud notes. He literally created their system now to check fraudulent documentation.
I don't know if I can get off of them. Well, I'm not sure I can still technically a criminal.
Yeah, he has
served his sentence.
He has served his sentence by helping catch worse criminals. So he's done.
He's served his sentence and he's now employed. Leave the man alone.
Exactly. So if you see if you can find something for you. I mean, scammers can find something for them too.
Scammers can be the best salesperson. They can be the salesperson, you know?
Or public person.
You're legit selling somebody something that doesn't exist. Imagine that something for it actually exists. Imagine.
Yeah, okay, if you might serve people, Americans, like that.
Exactly.
To get their money.
We're so entitled.
Yeah, you can do it. If you're bad at something, you can do it.
If you're bad at something, being good at something.
Alright, for being bad, you can find some skill. Ask Emma.
If you're good at, I think she means if you're good at doing something that's bad.
I mean, if you realize, I could pick them want to come soldier and police. All the violence, they should treat them in their school. I didn't want to come soldier and police.
I want to be a soldier.
Same thing?
Same here.
I was too starved.
It's okay.
No worries. When I stand up for money, I look down upon them.
Are you ready?
Ready for what?
The call.
I'm joking, yes. Your phone dead?
What happened to the other phone that she have? You can't call it?
The black phone?
I don't know.
The black phone of mine, and it's not pretty good. It's not that well. It can only sustain a few. Really? So when we have early morning shift, why when we have early morning shift, somebody even ever book me or wait me for 3 hours and I check on the dog? He would never be able to sleep. But to check on the dog? Why me? The reason why me couldn't sleep because he already wake me up.
Ah, God help me. You know, this reminds me of a conversation I had with 2 female co-workers. Where I'm basically saying, like, is there a problem if a woman, for example, goes to check if the noise that is made in the night instead of the man? They call me sexist and chauvinistic and all manner of things. And I said, but you women say equality, right? So if we are equal, if I hear a noise in the night and I can't locate or understand what that noise, I should just be like, babe, are your turn? Go check it out.
Exactly.
And you know what I say too? When we even change the situation, we say, all right, let's be fair. Let's say the female in that situation is a police officer or even a JDF soldier, right? And the man is a civilian. Even then, do you still think that the man should go and check? They said yes. I'm like, wow.
Well, those women think differently.
I mean, chances are the woman is the one who has the gun, so I'm just saying.
That's what I was about to say. I'm the one who has the gun. You're not supposed to afraid.
Exactly. But they said, no, the man's supposed to go check. I'm like, okay, interesting.
This is the only time she actually act like a female. and the worst part about it, this girl have super hearing. She will hear something from 3 houses down and wake up and wake me up because I check on it. Yeah, I can't wake me up. I'm like, it's not in the yard. No pay no mind.
Hypersensitive, man.
Remember, I said that house is partially haunted, so I am on her side.
Partially haunted? Wait.
First and foremost.
Hold on. How is something partially haunted? My first question. How is something partially haunted?
It's on a part-time basis.
Really?
Yes.
So that Duffy is on the temporary unemployed, a contract worker then?
Yes.
Okay. I need to...
First thing, only can't say Duffy. Me will see it, not Ono. That actually even bother Ono.
Oh boy.
Second, me not say Duffy no really know, but second, my family pray over the house to get rid of them. Because I see them way too often, so I have that.
Because a lot of people have died in that area. And particularly in that house already, I'm sure.
So this household have some craft. Anything else that happen, I'm in front of a gate. People are dropped in our gate. People are fight in our gate. Car crash in our gate.
So in our reach in the house.
In our gate.
So in our reach in the house then. The bad did it. Spiritual protection.
Yeah, one day that house.
One day I step out and they right at the gate, but in between a man with a gun and a madman with a cutlass. I'm in between the two of them. I'm step out of my gate. But if I legit step back and close the gate, I could even go in the way I'm this time, but each of I do work on. This is our late the day, cause I it's not even a joke thing. There was a period of time when rain fall, road dry. You can literally look on the road and you see line where rain fall and stop. Or you can look in the sky. You can look up in the sky after the path means you just strip a line whatever we rode with everybody else in the sky.
So you would step over there so we'd fall, step back over for
Exactly.
Okay, what kind of thing a burial ground was built on?
Just forget our gate, like the square. If them ever
Oh, no,
dig up
build
the
on top
road,
of something, man. Some
find
temple,
some elder.
some shaman, something mystical going on there.
Some practical thing happen right at this spot over there, right at this gate. That's why to protect your base or whatever.
What the hell?